Finally got myself a new box to put my compost in. I like to sieve it, add a bit of nutrients and keep it in a container so that when we get to that point where we do start sowing lots of seeds, it's already prepared for me. And that's the thing at this time of year, the weather is being really unpredictable. We're getting nice sunny days, we're getting a bit of rain. In about a week from now, it's predicted that temperatures are going to drop down to -3. So it's just pointless trying to grow as much as you possibly can, sowing lots and lots of seeds to get things going early. But some things you need to start early, like your peppers, because they need such a long growing season. And obviously you need to do those indoors. There's no way they germinate out here. So at this time of year, you don't have to be rushing into anything. Just think small. Concentrate on a couple of certain things like peppers and onions and just leave it at that for now. I did get a comment quite recently from Raw London Gardener asking me how those peppers have got on that we sowed indoors and we've been monitoring over the last few weeks. So I did say that I'd do a bit of an update on those, because at the moment there's not much or anything else going on apart from these carrots, which are looking really well, but they were established before it started to drop this cold. Well, I've just brought those peppers out so I can give you a quick update on them. That's how they look now. You can see they've put a nice bit of size on. This one in particular has got 2 true leaves. So they're doing really well. We don't want to leave them out here for too long though, because it's way too cold. But it's just a bit of an update on those plants. So if you haven't already started any peppers or chilies, then get some of those seeds sown and get them on the way. You can just keep them indoors. They don't grow very fast at all. So you might only have to pot them on probably once before we're into spring. But at least you've got an head start. I still haven't got round to moving those Chinese cabbages on. But I think we're definitely at that point where we should do. They've really put some good size on there. Definitely time to do something with those. I think what I might do is move one of these on into its own pot and take that indoors as well. It's not going to cause any problems. I'm just going to take one out and have a quick look at it while I'm in here. You can see we've got a nice amount of roots on that one. It's quite a big plant, to be fair. It's doing really well. We always have problems through summer with these Chinese cabbages going to seed because they don't like growing if it's too hot. We have the same trouble with spinach as well, which is why we've also got a container of spinach indoors on kitchen window, which is also doing okay. But some things you can't avoid sowing early, and definitely peppers is one of them. And I know that Raw London Gardener has already sown his seeds and started to get those underway. And I did check out one of your videos and I saw all the chili peppers that you were growing on your allotment last season, and you did really well with those. You got some very good sized plants and there was still peppers on there to harvest in September. So it just shows you the sooner you get those going, the bigger reward that you're going to get. I'm going to move one of these on today. I want to see how it gets on in a bit bigger pot. I'm not going to move them all. There's plenty of room for these to carry on growing in these cells. But I just noticed that there's a couple that are a bigger size than others. So I think it's worth just putting a couple on. I'll take that one out as well. You can see that that pepper has got a lot of root on it. So it won't hurt to move that one on into something slightly bigger. Just remember when you're doing your peppers, for some reason they don't like being moved from a small container into a big one all in one go. They just don't seem to take to it. You're better off moving your peppers up in stages. So this is going to be next stage. We'll just do a couple, we'll pop them back indoors and we'll see if we can encourage those to grow that little bit quicker than the ones that's still in those cells. And we only need to move them into a small container, as I said. These little pots, I believe, are 6cm containers. They're not a bad size. Something like that I'd do. They've just got a little bit more room in them than these cells, as you can see. So they're ideal to move your peppers on into. And I've got loads of these, so eventually we'll move what. But for now, we're just going to move on 2. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of compost in the bottom of these. Not too much, because we've got to get those plants in. I am going to take a bit of compost away as I do it. So we'll take that one back out. You can see where I cut away some others that germinated in the same cell, just to let this one grow on a bit better. So I'm just going to take away a bit of that compost. You don't have to, you could just plant it straight on if you want. But I always like to loosen up that root system. And then I can just drop that in there, press it in nice and firm, and try and get it as central as I can at the same time. And that looks about right. And then I'm going to bury it a little bit deeper. Put some of this compost back in. If your peppers haven't got much light and they've stretched a little bit, you can do this. You can just bury them a little bit deeper, just to take that legginess out of them. It's not quite the same effect that you get when you do that with tomato plants, because they've got little hairs on the stems that turn into roots, so you can bury them as deep as you want. Peppers are a bit different, but you can still take some stretch out of it. So that's one done, quick and easy. And then we've got that one as well, same job, loosen it up a little bit, drop it in, and then I'm going to centre it a little bit, and then fill in again around. And because these peppers have now got the true leaves, I want to add a little bit of feed to them as well. So I've got a bit of water, and I'm going to add just a little bit of liquid seaweed to that. We don't want to give them too much feed at this stage, so just a little bit in a jug. I'll just give that a mix. And then we've got a nice bit of nutrition for these little plants. We'll pop that in, let that soak down. That's going to keep them going for a long time. But if you've got tomato food, give them tomato food. And while I'm at it, I might as well give these little plants a bit of a feed as well. And that's all those done for now. So that's them plants sorted out. They'll stay there till spring now. Meanwhile, I'm holding off on sowing more seeds. Just for the moment. It's too early, it's too cold. So just concentrate on things that you can do indoors and think smaller at the moment. I also dropped on this cup in a charity shop, which I thought was perfect for me. And I'll show you why I got this cup in particular. That basically says it all about what I do. That's now become my official gardening cup. So that gives you a message all of its own. Just keep calm, don't jump in head first and try and get everything done too early. Concentrate on the things that need it most and just prepare for spring. It's on its way. It might not seem like it at the moment, but it's going to be here before you know it. So just get prepared for that. And if you're not doing any gardening at all at the moment, or even trying to grow things indoors, just to keep you entertained and keep those cogs turning until that time arrives, why not check out his quiz channel? I'll leave a link in description. I'm putting new quizzes on there 7 days a week now, so that's plenty of entertainment for everybody. If you want to see what I'm doing between now and spring, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.